With the help of this presentation, I'm going to discuss the impact of lethal allele in a population. See, the lethal alleles are those alleles which cause death of the individuals which carry such alleles. These alleles could be dominant or recessive. So accordingly, they are classified as dominant lethal alleles and recessive lethal alleles. The dominant lethal alleles could be situated on autosomes, and they can also be situated on the X chromosome, and accordingly they are referred as autosomal dominant lethals and sex-linked dominant lethals. Likewise, the recessive alleles, which in homozygous condition cause lethality to the individuals, are also autosomal as well as sex-linked recessive lethals. But here in this presentation, I will be mainly discussing about the impact of autosomal recessive lethal alleles in the population. See, several human diseases are known which are caused by autosomal recessive mutations. Like sickle cell anemia and cystic fibrosis are two very commonly occurring diseases in certain populations. And these two diseases are caused by autosomal recessive genes or alleles. And if we analyze such population where these diseases are found, we find that there will be a specific frequency of heterozygotes for such diseases or heterozygotes in the population, and uh, we can understand that how the lethal allele actually exists in the population. They exist because of heterozygotes. So the entire phenomena we can understand by considering a specific case. When an autosomal allele, suppose it is small a is an allele that is lethal in nature, and that shows lethality in homozygous condition. It means when the individual is homozygous, genotypically if that fellow is kept small a, then that individual will show lethality and will not be able to reach to one's reproductive age. So that fellow will not be actually surviving. And in that situation, this individuals, since the AA types, small AA types, do not survive, one will find in the population only those individuals whose genotype will be capital A or capital A small a, because capital A represents the normal allele, and heterozygotes as well as homozygous dominant, they are the normal individuals. So they are the people who actually reproduce among them and produce progeny for the next generation. Now we can understand this entire aspect by considering this diagram. See, small a allele, as I just mentioned, is a lethal one. Now suppose it arises in a population, means at one point of time this lethal allele will first of all arise in someone, and that individual will actually reproduce, and in the next generation some more heterozygotes may be found. So when two heterozygotes will mate with each other, because at one point of time there will be chance that two heterozygotes, that is both will be carrying lethal allele in single dose. So when they will mate with each other, they will produce all the three different types, that is capital capital A small a, and small a small a. But small a being homozygous recessive case will not be able to survive. These individuals will die either in the embryonic stage or in the early stage of their life, but they will not be reaching to their maturity, to their reproductive age. So they will not be able to mate with any of the types, either their own types or other two types. And that is why they will not be able to produce. So there is a color difference in this presentation. This indicates that small AA types, they are lethal and they are not going to survive. So what will happen in the population? Those who actually reproduce, they are capital A and heterozygotes, that is whose genotype will be capital A and small a. Now they will produce their own types. I mean to say that capital A will produce their own types, and heterozygotes again, they will, if they will mate among themselves, they will produce all the three types. But again, homozygous recessive, they will not be surviving. So when so many generations will pass on, we will find that the frequency of capital AA will be increasing, or it will increase and will come to a level. Definitely at some point of time, an equilibrium will be there. Or if we consider that if this strictly happens, that other forces like mutation doesn't occur, or selection takes place, or there is migration, then definitely situation will be different. But as a whole, we can say that the frequency of homozygous dominant will increase in the population. Heterozygotes, their number will be definitely there, but they will be less in number, because the small AA types formed, they will be dying, so they will not be found at all in the population. And Fitness wise, we can say that those individuals who are homozygous dominant, they will have complete fitness, because W indicates the fitness. Okay, so W is a symbol that denotes for fitness, and AA genotypes shows 100% fitness, so it is represented by 1. Likewise, heterozygotes, for majority of disease causing lethal disease causing genes, they are also uh, they do not face any problem, so they show their fitness also 100%. But homozygous recessive types, they do not show any fitness, so their fitness is actually 0. And there is one more parameter in population genetics, that one is selection coefficient, which actually denotes the deleterious nature of an allele or a specific genotype. So here S is equal to 0. It means selection coefficient means deleterious nature of this particular genotype capital AA is 0. Likewise, heterozygotes, they are also not showing any deleterious effect, but homozygous recessive, they show 100% deleterious effect, and that is why this should be 1. So this should be actually 1. It is wrongly written 0. And this diagram gives us the idea that the frequency of homozygous dominant will go on increasing, whereas heterozygotes, their frequency will decrease, and we will not be able to get the homozygous recessive types. So definitely they will be formed, but their presence will not be there at all. Now the uh, frequency of this small a, that is lethal allele in the population, can be known in a specific generation by using this equation. So the decline in the frequency of allele A, which is actually lethal allele, and that is represented as Q, can be described by following equation, where this Qg is equal to Q naught divided by 1 plus G Q naught, where this G stands for generation, and Q stands for lethal allele, that is small a. So Qg means frequency of Q, that is small a, in the specific generation. Q naught is actually the initial frequency of Q. So whatever is the frequency of this small a in the initial stage, if that is given to us, then by using this equation we can know the frequency of Q in a specific generation. Now by using this equation, see, I have shown here some of the calculations, and in this, in all these calculations, what I have shown, that I have considered the initial frequency of Q, that is small a, zero point 0.5. Okay, so 0.5 is the initial frequency, and considering this initial frequency, I have calculated that what would be the situation in first generation. In first generation, it means Q1 will be equal to 0.5 divided by 1 plus 1 into 0.5. So when we will calculate this, it will come 0.33. It means the frequency of small a allele that has come 33%. The same calculation has been done in third generation. When the initial frequency of small a is 0.5, it will be 20%, that is 0.20. Likewise, in fifth generation, this has come 0.14, that is 14%. And in 100th generation, the frequency has come to 0.01, that is 1%. So this way we find that if exactly this specific thing is happening, that is if lethal allele is means is causing death to the individuals, and no other factor like mutation or migration, or if the population is not getting reduced to a small size, that is genetic drift. If these factors are not operating, then theoretically we can go with this calculation, and we can say that what would be the frequency of small a in the in the specific generation. Now, based on this calculation, this table is actually constructed. That is, in initial stage, in generation 0, the frequency of capital AA, that is P square, is 25%, heterozygotes, that is 50%, and homozygous recessive, that one is 25%. And on this very basis, if you calculate the frequency of capital A and small a, it will come 50-50%, that is 0.5 and zero point 0.5. Now, if the small a types, they become lethal or they are not surviving, then in the next generation their frequency will decrease to just half, that is it will become 0.12, whereas the frequency of capital AA and heterozygotes will become equal. Again, in the next generation, you will find there will be increase in the frequency of homozygous dominant, and again there will be reduction in the frequency of heterozygotes. Further, in fifth generation, you are seeing that the frequency of capital AA, that is P square, it becomes 0.73, that is 73%, whereas heterozygotes, its frequency becomes 25%. Decrease in the frequency of heterozygotes is only because that when they will mate with each other, then homozygous means capital AA will also be formed, and they will get added on the right side. Whereas on the left side, small AA types, they will not be surviving, neither they will be contributing to further generation. So there will be very sudden decrease in the frequency of homozygous recessive, that is small a types. And accordingly, you will find that the frequency of is capital A and small a in further generations will go on changing to a very drastic level. And in 100th generation, what is shown here, that the frequency of capital AA, that becomes 98%, heterozygotes, they will be 2%, and the frequency of small a will be expected to less than 1%. So uh, this particular indication is for uh, the decrease in the frequency of QV square, that is small a types, those individuals who show lethality, and also the lethal allele, its frequency will be going down. Finally, we can conclude that in the majority of cases, individuals carrying both the recessive lethal alleles, that is small a, on a single gene locus do not reach to their reproductive age, and therefore the lethal allele is not inherited to the next generation by them. So these individuals, that is small a types, they are not able to inherit their allele to the next generation because they will not be reaching to their reproductive age. And this happens with majority of lethal gene causing diseases. Second point, the existence of lethal allele in the population is only due to the presence of heterozygotes that result into balancing selection of both normal as well as lethal alleles. We find that the normal allele, that is capital A, and recessive lethal allele, that is small a, both are retained in the population even after several generations, it is only because of heterozygotes. In majority of cases, the heterozygotes, they are actually selected, they show better fitness, and that is why the lethal allele is retained in the population. In a number of disease cases, the lethal or deleterious genes remain in the population with a fixed frequency due to the superiority of heterozygotes. For example, heterozygous individuals with sickle cell anemia are resistant to malaria-causing parasites. So, heterozygotes, their superiority because such individuals, they are actually better surviving one, and that is why the lethal alleles remain in the population for several generations. And we find that for several disease causing traits, the frequency of a specific disease in the population is well known, or its frequency is almost well decided in a specific population.